Welcome to today's Explainer. I am so glad you're here. Look, if skincare has ever felt like this confusing, endless cycle of trial and error, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're taking a step back and looking at skin from first principles. We're going to strip away all that confusing marketing jargon and really dive deep into the ultimate guide to your skin barrier. By the end of this, you'll actually understand the underlying why behind healthy skin so you can make choices with absolute confidence. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with the central mystery. Why does the exact same product work absolute miracles for one person, but cause stinging and redness for someone else? I mean, it kind of makes skincare feel completely random, right? But I promise you there's no way it's random. It is entirely about cause and effect, and it literally all comes down to the current state of your skin barrier.
Here's our roadmap for today. First, the wall protecting you. Second, bricks, mortar, and water. Third, why the barrier fails. Fourth, real-life barrier care. And finally, building long-term resilience.
Section 1. The wall protecting you, defending the shoreline.
So, think of your skin barrier exactly like a massive wall protecting a coastal city's shoreline. When that wall is solid, it keeps the useful things in and the harmful things out. But when the wall weakens, the entire system loses its balance. It's not just a simple case of having dry skin. A compromised wall leads to this whole cascade of issues like redness, tightness, and sensitivity. The really crucial point here is that healthy skin isn't just about looking calm or having a nice glow. It's actually about functioning as a stable, protective filter. It's constantly performing two vital jobs at the exact same time. First, holding water in, which is what keeps your skin smooth, flexible, and comfortable. And second, blocking irritants out, so that your everyday exposure to the world doesn't suddenly turn into inflammation.
Section 2. Bricks, mortar, and water. Anatomy of the barrier.
At its core, the barrier is essentially this living structure of bricks and mortar. The bricks are the flattened skin cells right near the surface, and the mortar is the oily, waxy lipid material that seals up all the gaps. Now here's the catch. If the bricks are strong, but the mortar gets washed away, water leaks out. And if the mortar is totally fine, but the bricks are damaged, well, the whole wall becomes totally unstable. They absolutely have to do their jobs together.
You can also think of the barrier like a slightly damp sponge, which, okay, I know sounds a little weird, but stay with me. Healthy skin doesn't actually want to be perfectly sealed off, like it's wrapped up in plastic wrap. It needs to keep just enough water in without becoming stiff. Think about a good sponge, right? It's soft, flexible, and resilient. But if it loses its ability to hold water, it gets brittle, tight, and super easily irritated. So when you feel dehydrated, your barrier is literally letting too much water escape. On top of that, the barrier is what we'd call a smart filter. Just like a tea strainer that lets the flavorful liquid through but catches those bitter leaves, or, a mosquito net that allows fresh air in but keeps the bugs out. Your skin needs to breathe, renew, and interact safely with the environment. When this filter works, ordinary things like wind, water, and your daily cleanser stay totally harmless. But when it's compromised, those exact same things suddenly cause stinging and redness. Okay, let's strip away all the complicated jargon for a second. When someone says their barrier is damaged, this is exactly what they mean. The surface cells and the oily gaps just aren't holding together smoothly anymore. Water is escaping, the skin is losing its flexibility, the filter isn't doing its job to keep irritants out, and that constant natural renewal cycle is totally disrupted.
Section 3. Why the barrier fails and the breaking points.
Because the barrier sits at the very edge of the world, it is constantly, and I mean constantly, exposed to everyday stressors. We're talking washing, friction from towels, indoor heating, dry air, harsh skincare products, and pollution. Every single one of these things can chip away at the barrier just a little bit. And this brings us to a massively important concept. Often, it is the accumulation that really matters. The barrier rarely just fails in one dramatic moment. Remember earlier when we asked why a product suddenly irritates you out of literally nowhere? Well, it's because these everyday stressors accumulate. Your skin was slowly being pushed past what it could comfortably handle until it simply had absolutely no room left for error.
Section 4. Real-life barrier care, managing the load.
Now, caring for your barrier means you have to solve two problems at the exact same time. You're maintaining internal stability by stopping excessive water loss, while also managing external exposure by preventing outside irritation. Think of it kind of like maintaining a house across two completely different seasons. You have to simultaneously stop the roof from leaking the warm air out while also preventing the freezing cold rain from getting in. You wouldn't use the exact same tool to fix both, right? Well, your skin requires that same sort of nuanced approach.
Cleansing is a perfect illustration of this. It isn't inherently good or bad, it's just a delicate trade-off. Doing it enough successfully removes buildup, sweat, and pollution. But doing it too much, or using something way too harsh, literally washes away the vital oily mortar sitting right there between your skin cells. The wall might still look like it's standing, but structurally, it's become super fragile and much less cohesive.
You see, skincare isn't some high school chemistry class where you just blindly mix ingredients together in a beaker. It's actually an exercise in dose and timing. You have to carefully consider the amount of stress hitting your skin at once, how frequently you're applying it, how combinations of ingredients interact with each other, and, crucially, your skin's current condition and its reserve. Even an amazing, holy grail ingredient becomes a major problem if your skin simply cannot process the load that day.
So remember this. Sensitivity is often just a sign of reduced barrier reserve, not a fixed personality trait of your skin. When a product stings, it usually doesn't mean the product itself is evil. It just means your barrier's protective buffer is currently way too thin to handle the load. On a good, calm day, your barrier absorbs it, but on an exhausted day, it protests. Section 5. Building long-term resilience and protecting the maintenance cycle. The funny thing is, true resilience often looks kind of boring from the outside. That's because highly stable systems rely on really consistent, gentle habits rather than aggressive, dramatic corrections. A truly resilient routine means gentle cleansing, consistent moisturizing to act as a temporary scaffold, actively avoiding unnecessary physical or chemical disruption, and always matching your care to how your skin actually feels that day rather than just blindly following a trend. But hey, if you do experience damage, just remember that healing is absolutely not an overnight event. It's a lot like resurfacing a broken road. You can't fix it in one quick pass. Step 1, you have to reduce the pressure. Step 2, provide the building materials, like lipids. And Step 3, allow time for the system to fully reconstruct itself. The barrier isn't a button you just press to reset. It's a living system that recovers through repeated patient support. So I'm going to leave you with this. The next time your skin protests, please don't just guess blindly. Stop and ask yourself, what actually changed? What is my skin being asked to do right now? And what support is it missing? Once you start seeing your skin as this living system of cause and effect, you truly hold the power. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Now go give your barrier a much-deserved break. See you next time.